The opinions expressed by the host and guest of Old Drunken Discography are just that, opinions. Our views are based solely on how we feel about the content we are discussing and mean no harm to your precious little feelings. If you are offended by anything we say, maybe you should go outside, ride a bike, take a walk around the block, maybe even pet a puppy. We are just a group of old grumps who like music, alcohol, and arguing with each other. No one should take us seriously. Seriously.
Greetings and welcome to Rant and Rank, the show where we come together to rant about, and you guessed it, rank a band's studio discography. We use the very scientific method of our opinions, and we do this in the most uncivilized way possible. My name is Dork Joe, and with me today I have the mouth of the Southeastish, Ed. Times Man of the Year back to back for 93 and 94, Jason.
Hey, those are good years.
That's right.
That was good years. Yes.
How are y'all today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Doing well.
I like
Doing
it.
well.
Ready to talk about some pop punk.
That's right. Housekeeping. If you haven't seen any of our other shows, please check them out. We greatly appreciate it. We're new, can use your views. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your mom and pa all this. And if you're not part of any of our social medias, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, Facebook, whatever the other ones are, please join us. We'll have some links below for you. On this episode, our heroes are going to be discussing Yellowcard, and we'll be ranting and ranking their discography. Now, what we usually do here is we discuss how we kind of know the band, how we got into it. So, Ed, let me know tell me about your Yellowcard experience.
Well, I think for Yellowcard, like most people, I really didn't know about them until we watched them get big with their biggest album, Ocean Avenue, and then we saw them. I think with Jason, we went to Warped Tour one year and they played and they were amazing. I had a really good time. Good band, solid band. I enjoy the little fiddle. It was a violinist or whatever. It was really interesting to see a punk band pull that. I'd never seen that before. But yeah, it's a fantastic time, and that's how I heard about them.
Awesome. Jason?
I don't want to sound elitist, but I knew of them before Ocean Avenue. I saw them open for No Use for a Name, and they were touring for One for the Kids, and the Underdog EP was out, which was, what year was that?
Underdog? I'd say that's probably 2002, right?
2002, yeah. So I know.
That's still
Oh,
trash.
so they were fresh because their first album came out in 2001.
Well,
Kind
we'll
of.
get to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second.
So I saw it because they opened for No Use for a Name. Didn't have a clue who they were. And Sean came out with that violin, and they were playing. I mean, all they played was One for the Kids and the EP. And he was flipping off the stage, and just the amount of energy they had. Like, I immediately bought their CDs at the show and been a fan ever since. So they have two previous albums before One for the Kids. We're leaving them off of this list because it's not really Yellowcard. It's more they had a different singer. Ryan wasn't with them. They were more hardcore, not like hardcore, but they weren't pop punk. Songwriting was completely different. They're still really good albums. I don't want to get flagged from YouTube for saying the name of one of them, but Where We Stand was really good.
Yes.
But and they probably rank higher than some of these other albums we're gonna rank, honestly. But yeah, that's how I got into them.
So as
And a little quick note. Reading up on them, how they came up with the name Yellowcard is you have party fouls.
Yeah,
Apparently, one of the members called that a yellow card, like a soccer thing. I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't know that's where it came from until I started reading about it.
and so in lieu of that, in that thought process, I'm wearing my soccer jersey that's yellow card.
See that?
I got a little yellow.
Yeah, you got a little yellow in there.
Godzilla, Marshmallow Man.
It doesn't go for like the matching outfit apparently.
He didn't get the memo,
No.
I guess.
Yeah. So like a lot of these bands,
Wait, no, I got it's Dark Side of the Moon, so it's got yellow in there
Oh,
somewhere.
there
There
you
you
go.
go.
You got a little yellow.
Yeah.
So a lot of these bands, you'll hear the same story as I got in them because Jason introduced me to them. And probably around 2000, end of 2001, 2002 ish.
Probably.
We got it because before Ocean Avenue, I remember Ocean Avenue coming out, and looking forward to it. So
I want to say it was just me and Cowboy that saw that No Use show. Maybe I think Angel was there too. I think it was just the three of us.
yeah, I never saw No Use, so which is a shame, but tale for another story there. Anyway, so as Jason said, we're only going to be doing 8 albums from them, and we're going to go ahead and kick it off unless anybody wants to, wax poet about anything else. No, excellent. So Ed, give me your number 8.
All right. For my number 8, I have the self-titled, the latest album. It's the Yellowcard. It is a different sound than the one that I seem to like most for him. But I do, like I said, it's kind of hard because there's sometimes when you pick like the last album, you still have honorable mentions, like singles from him that you really like. I did like "The Hurt Is Gone." That's a pretty good track, I think. But overall, this one's definitely not one of my favorites.
Which one did you say? I had some sound issues.
This the latest one, the
Self-titled.
Yellow Card. Yeah, that came out in 2016.
All right.
Jason, give me your number 8.
My number 8, there's nothing good about this album. Lift a Sail.
Ooh, that's wrong. That is just wrong on all accounts.
It's a really pretty record. But this album is god awful. It is horrible. This is their first record without LP, their drummer. And I don't have anything to say about it. Nothing nice. My mama told me if I can't say anything nice, I don't say anything at all.
You're wrong.
That's brutal.
No.
You're not too far off wrong, but you're wrong on that.
That is horrible, horrible album.
My number 8 is their self-titled. I think by far this is their worst album. It's just bad. It's kind of a farewell album, and really listening to it back to back with Lift Your Sail and this one, it seems the sound has changed a little bit, and not for the better. It's bad. There's a couple of good songs, like Ed said. I like The Place We Set Fire and Fields and Fences,
Yeah.
but What Appears and Empty Streets are just terrible songs for it. I didn't really like The Hurt Is Gone. I didn't really like a lot about this album. It was a struggle to get through.
Yeah, and it's hard because like I get like listening to the discography, like I get what they're trying to do, and change the sound, but this is like a right way to do it, and that was not the right way to do it, and I just
Neither was Lift a Sail.
No. And I read some reviews about it. People were like, "Oh, this is them coming back into form," and a lot of things. And I was like, "What form of what? They're coming into a bad form?" I didn't. Like I said, that one was. I didn't struggle through any of these except that one. That one was just hard to get all the way through. I thought about skipping most of the songs, just being like, "It's my number 8," not talking about it. But I listened through all of them.
Yeah.
Jason, give me number 7.
Oh, I'm right there with you. That album sucks too. Again, no redeeming qualities. They don't have LP. The only reason I'll pick this one over Lift a Sail is because there's less electronic bullshit on it.
Yes.
But again, there's even electronics could be used. I mean, a lot of musicians move towards that to make their sound more attractive, like especially to like younger crowds. And like I said, I get what they're trying to do, and it's fun, and I get it. It's just there's a right way of doing it, and they just did not do that at all.
Ed, give me number 7.
Southern Air.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't like that album, dude. No. Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
No.
we're gonna fucking. This is
So-
gonna be
No.
nasty.
So
I don't
number,
even have an honorable mention for this album.
I'm sorry,
Like, it's just-
Ed. I must have lost you there. I thought you said number 7 was Southern Air.
I did.
Oh my lord!
I don't like this album.
I thought you were
Don't
crazy.
find anything good about it. I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
You don't have anything good about that album?
I
Let
mean,
me let you
no.
explain yourself a little more before I interject. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I felt like songs like "Awakening," the opening track's pretty cool. I don't know. I just haven't really heard much of this album. I really haven't gotten much into it. And it wasn't one of my top ones this when I went through the discography. So
Okay.
I'll talk about that one way later in this
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, way later. My
well, good
num-
for you.
my number 7. I'm gonna tell you the good songs off that one later, but not my number 7 is "Lift to Sail." I think there are good songs on this album. Songs like "Illuminate" and the title track and "California." I think those are good songs. The problem with this
Yeah.
album is lyrically, it's not a bad album. Musically, they just messed themselves up. I have a big bold note on "Fragile and Dear," just because of how bad the music behind it is to how good that song could have been. Like, that could have been a great song. If you'd have made that old Yellow
Well,
Card,
I mean,
that's a probably
also
good song.
like I'm coming up on that one, but I like it seems like there's ballads there. They're pretty like California's a ballady song, right? So that's so there's some good strong music there too. Like it's not just the usual.
It's a
you
great
know, but-
closing track.
Yeah, it is. It's one of my
Sweet
one
song.
of my favorites from.
It's about him. Supposedly, it's about him trying to connect with his injured wife, who is in Russia or something of that nature. It's a really sweet song. I think that he has some good personal songs throughout the discography about his family or his wife and things of that nature. That album is just noise. There's just so much noise behind all the songs. To kind of wrap it around, I'll give you my number 6. My number 6 is "When You're Through Thinking, Say Yes." I think there are some great songs on this one. "Sing for Me," very sweet, very touching about his aunt. "Hang You Up" is really good. "With You Around," "For You in Your Denial." I really like that. I think their opener's real weak. I think the closer's just okay. Soundtrack, "The Sound of You and Me" are low lights for me. It's just kind of pretty generic. I think it's a generic album, and it kind of shows me that they were on a hiatus before that. Jason, tell
Well,
me.
I mean, that album has more. It has more hit. More, I'm not gonna say hits, but it has more like more known songs than "Lift to Sail," right? Or am I wrong?
It
I'm
had
sure.
it had a single. It had
I can't remember what the single is.
"For You and Your Denial" was a single. I think maybe "Hang You Up." I don't know.
So.
At that point, nobody really cared about Yellowcard anymore.
Yeah. For You and Your Denial should have been the opening track.
Yeah, that's a good song.
I like that. Like I said, just a generic album in my opinion from them.
Yeah.
It's not a bad album like the two before I picked, but it's kind of generic. Jason, number 6.
This is the point of the video where I say we don't know each other's list, but I have the exact same album. "When You're Through Thinking."
When you flipping me off about? Oh, you're flipping me off because we have the same one. I see.
Yeah, and you picked up all the things I was going to say. The song about his aunt dying. The first 3 tracks start off strong, and then it just kind of falters and dies. Again, I have a colored version of that. I didn't even remember I had that.
That's how many spins that one gets, huh?
Yeah, actually, well, besides one, most of the good Yellowcard the bad Yellowcard albums, I have the pretty colored vinyl, and the good Yellowcard, I have the black. So
Those are easier to
it's very
find.
simple.
Anything else from you on that one?
No, you stole everything I was gonna say about it. It's a mediocre album. You could tell they were coming back. I mean, everything you said.
It's. I mean, it sounds 100% like we just came back. We weren't. We don't know each other very well anymore.
But at least it has LP drumming on it, which makes it better than the other two albums.
That's true. Ed, give me your number 6.
This was kind of tough because I had a couple that were kind of in there, but it's just that there was a period also that I didn't like listen much to Yellowcard too, so I couldn't like get involved in their music like I did other stuff. So some of the stuff that I didn't really partake on, like Paper Walls, is just not in my avenue of memories with this band. So, but like I said, even then, they had like what
Are
was
you
that
picking
track?
Paper Walls for your number 6?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
I like Light Up the Sky though. That's a good tune.
All right. Well,
But again, it's not that it's a bad album. It's just that I didn't connect with this one like I did the other ones that they put out. So
um, okay. You're so wrong with Southern Air, and then you put Paper Walls behind it. I don't know what to do with you.
I'm not saying anything because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have the hot take on number 5.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. And one of the things, Ed, I don't know for you, but for me, after let's see, after Lights and Sound, I don't think I listened to a Yellowcard album until today. Like most of these after Lights and Sound.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't like. It's not necessarily that it's bad music. It's a lot of I just didn't connect because like if you mention like the Lights and Sounds below, I can tell you like memories and connection that I have with this. I don't really have much connection with anything that like came out really after any of that. So,
No.
but I'm not saying they're bad. I listened to them and some of them are really good. It's just that's the order that I got them in. So
Okay. Okay. Jason, give me that hot take number 5. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this spicy take.
oh, dude, no, Jason.
I thought that's where you were going.
Oh my gosh,
Ocean Avenue.
what is wrong with you?
I want to hear the reasoning behind this because I keep my opinion myself. I want to hear the reasoning.
So Ocean Avenue is a great, wonderful, happy pop punk album. I mean, I don't. Let's see my notes here. I took notes. I don't want to talk about the notes. Everyone knows the album. It's a great album. The hit singles got overplayed. They're good, but they did better after Ocean Avenue. And my defense of putting it lower will come later when I get to my next 4.
I mean, if you and Ed, were y'all chatting on the phone about bad picks before you come? You'd be like, I'm gonna make a bad pick. That's just what I'm gonna do. I'd be like, these are bad.
Joe's talking all that smack over there.
I mean, because y'all's list is crazy. I mean, 5. I have some agreements with you on Ocean Avenue as far as how overrated that album is, but I don't think it's that.
Look,
That
if
bad.
I would not call that album overrated. Now that's a little much. I mean, it's
album was
a classic
huge.
album.
It was a
huge.
big album.
A lot of people like a lot of hits on it. The songwriting is solid. You can tell like
Songwriting's not
they
solid.
arranged the songs awesomely. Like I mean, it's no, it's not overrated.
It's
If
overrated.
anything, people might have gotten tired of it because it was on the radio, but that doesn't mean it's overrated.
It's
And
overrated.
there's only 2 tracks on that album that were on the radio, anyways, right? I think.
no,
I think they had 4 singles come off that, if my memory's correct.
Way Away, Ocean Avenue, Only One, and Believe. Was Believe a single?
I don't think so.
I think it wasn't View from Heaven a single? I could be wrong.
Maybe.
I've looked it up.
Well, I know
Wait,
Way Away, Ocean Avenue. I didn't know the other 2.
Oh, Only One. Here
Man, that's
I
what it is.
go.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, it's a great song.
They're not bad songs. I just think
My
that the album overall is not as good an album as.
so if the reason neither one of you listened to Yellowcard after you guys and most everybody else is because they're just another pop punk band that came out around that same time with Newfound Glory and Guitaris and all this pop punk explosion in the early 2000s. And when they came out with their next album, which is extremely better, people blew it off, wrote it off.
It is not better.
Yes, it is.
You want me to tell you how much better it's not? It's my number 5. Lights and Sound, number 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad that one is. Lights and Sound has a big lull in it toward the end. Starts out strong. I love that instrumental. Then it falls, and then we get some good stuff in the middle. We get some great stuff in the middle, and we get some good stuff at the very end. But it is just a snooze fest in the middle there. The highlights: Rough Landing, Holly, Sure Thing, Falling, Martin Sheen of JOK. Your lowlights: Down on My Head, Words, Hands.
Down on My Head is so fucking
Words,
good.
Hands, Heart. No, it's not. It's not.
Jesus Christ.
And they do have some good songs on it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's a better album than Ocean Avenue.
Yes, it is.
I'm just not. It's kind of a concept album. Is kind of what I wrote.
It's
finding your place in the world and getting lost. But I mean, I just don't. There's just giant lull in this album. Yeah, so that's my number. That's my number 5. Ed, tell me about it. Give me something crazy.
Nah, when you're through thinking, that's
Okay,
my next
okay.
one. It's. I mean, I actually enjoy this album. It's. I know you guys said it sounded like, they were coming back, but I mean, I think they got a little experimental, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think With You Around, Hang You Up. I like those tunes. I thought they were fine. I wasn't crazy about the the last couple of tracks on here. The See Me Smiling and Be the Young, but I think it opens up pretty good. It has a few songs in there that I dig.
Yeah, the last two are not great songs at all.
No, yeah.
Especially following Sing For Me. Sing For Me probably should have closed,
Yeah.
in my opinion. All right, I'll give you my number 4 then. We'll mosey around to me. I used to write down what order, but I like kind of just going back and forth, especially if somebody's got a hot take. So my number 4, I like giving Jason a lot of shit for this, but my number 4 is Ocean Avenue. I think it's overrated. I don't think the songwriting's all that great in it. I think they're...
Whoa. You gave me so much shit
I
for
know.
number 5,
That's ridiculous.
and you put it number 4. This motherfucker,
I just want to give you some shit. I told you it wasn't that far down the list for me, but
Hey, honestly though, even though you guys knocked it down or put it down there, okay, the violin work on that.
Great.
Yeah.
yeah,
Breathing,
it's amazing.
breathing is fucking fantastic.
He's a beast. Like it's beast mode stuff, man. It's great, and that was like, at least for me, like I said when we went to see him on Warped Tour, I have never seen anything like that before. And I think a lot of kids my age probably or younger than me I've never seen that before. It reminded me honestly like seeing like the Violent Femmes live for the first time. How I saw acoustic music being played like that, and I've never seen that before. So I think I give credit to the album because of stuff like that.
First time I saw the Violent Femmes, he was being.
I was with you.
I still lived in Pensacola, so I was 16 or younger.
Wait, I saw him at Spring Fest or whatever. I thought it was in Pensacola. I was with you.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. It was Springfest.
Yeah.
You remember he was being a little bitch. If y'all don't stop throwing things at me, we're gonna stop playing.
They were throwing bottles at him, dude. I mean, come on.
Yellowcard kept playing when people were throwing bottles at them. Just saying.
Yeah, no.
So
I got in a fight. I got in a fight in that mosh pit too. It was great.
of Yellowcard? Yellowcard had a mosh pit?
Oh, Yellowcard. We jumped whenever we were jumping, and we never touched the ground. We jumped and stopped.
And they had it was a tight pit. So
Yeah.
I don't do this anymore. When I was younger, I was a little wild, you know. So
Sure.
like whenever you like, you know, you would move. So it was like it wasn't really a pit. People were just kind of moving and moving you, you know. So I remember like opening up some, and then this guy that was crowd surfing, like he came up and I saw him from the corner of my eye, and he whacked me in the head with a shoe. Like he kicked my head, and I went down. The guy picked me up. So yeah, all right. He's like, yeah, man. And then after like the second or third song, I saw the same redheaded guy. I remember his face till today. And he looked at me. I swear to God, he looked at me and he smiled and he was heading my way again to kick me in the head. Dude, I pretended like I didn't see him and I just yanked him down. It was great. It was a great experience. But yeah, no, that they did have a little mosh pit action there. It was pretty awesome.
So we were supposed to see Yellowcard at there was some kind of fest, like an Oktoberfest, and they kept headlining Yellowcard. And Jason and I were like, Yellowcard is not going to play this little
There's
shitty.
no fucking way they were playing a little shitty.
Not at that time. They
Festival.
were so popular. I mean, it was right around Ocean Avenue. Maybe it was a year after it. Maybe it was 2 years.
Yeah.
But
Where was it?
It was in Pensacola. The Lawrence Arms played Against Me because I think that Will Brett was there, wasn't he?
I think so.
Or Against Me.
What was this and why didn't I go?
Kid
What was
Dynamite.
Yeah, Kid Dynamite.
So it had to be between 03 and 06. I don't know, like 04, 05, sometime in that.
Yeah, it had to have been when I wasn't living around you guys anymore.
No, you were already gone. You were
Yeah.
already in Auburn.
But yeah, they headline that shit forever. And of course, you get there and they're like, they don't mention it. And then finally it's time for that part. And they're like, oh, Yellowcard couldn't make it. Of course, Yellowcard couldn't make it. They weren't here to begin with.
Even the ticket was like just a yellow not construction, but like yellow paper. It just said Yellowcard.
Mm-hmm.
And it had the time of the day of the show. And it was like, they're not fucking going to be here.
These people aren't going to be here. It was a great show. I mean, even if I thought there was a lot of great bands there, but
Oh, yeah. Lawrence Arms were great.
yeah.
There was some girl band, too, that was really big. They played. I can't remember who it was, though.
Anyway, so Ocean Avenue. I think probably the best 1, 2, 3, like 3 opening songs on any of their albums. I think they're great. Then you hit Empty Apartment, and I think there's some weird things that go on with his writing. He's got some things about people who are leaving him forever, and he says they'll come back, and it's a repeated theme. It's like, you don't love me at all, but I know you'll be back. I believe you'll be back. And it's a repeated theme through a lot of his albums. And I picked up on a lot here.
Life of a Salesman. That song that's
a great
has
song.
a really good meaning, but the way he sings it is just like, what's it, Dad for? Dad.
It's a little annoying. It's refreshing to have a "I'm proud of my dad" song go on, but
the
it's
chorus
a
is
little
really
annoying.
good. The chorus is really good. That Father, I will.
1 year, 6 months, 23, an empty apartment just don't do it for me. They're
Tracks.
lows of lows. It is a great, this is a pop punk album. I think that it was a lot of fun when it came out. Listening back to it, not what I thought it was at the time. I love the backing vocals in View from Heaven. I thought it was the Dixie Chick girl or the Chicks girl. Woman, I guess. The girl is she's a little bit older than I am, I believe. But it apparently is not. It's somebody whose name I would butcher terribly if I tried to say it. So, Haliki Wijnevelt. Nailed it. That has to be how it's pronounced. Anyway, so Ocean Avenue, that's my number 4. Ed.
Well, oh yeah, for this one I picked Lift to Sail. Okay, so
we knew it was coming somewhere.
I forgot he hadn't picked that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Okay, I really like California, man. It's one of my favorite tracks by them.
Jesus.
California's a great closing track.
Actually, California
What can you say about that
is
album?
actually on my playlist, and it comes up a lot, even when I don't want it to. So I don't know why it keeps coming up. It's like it knows we're going to talk about them.
Has to be awesome.
But no, I mean, it's got some good songs in it. Transmission Home, One Bedroom. This wasn't as bad as the previous album that I talked about. And the artwork pretty fantastic. I mean, I love it. It reminds me of Cotton Candy.
That's a different show.
That's a different video.
I love Cotton Candy, and it reminds me of Cotton Candy. And I don't know, man. I think a lot of it's very artsy.
That's got to be the reason you picked it, because it isn't for what's in the album.
Oh, come on, guys! It's not bad. I mean, it's not like the traditional Yellowcard stuff either. But I like California. I think it's one of the top songs.
Your proving point for the number 4 album is it's not bad.
Well, like I said, all these ones before are not bad albums. It's just that I don't connect with them.
Sure.
And this one, California, keeps coming up on my playlist for some reason.
Okay,
and
all right.
It's pretty great.
Hashtag
I think
Spotify.
Apple Music is for me to connect with this song.
There you go.
So they're like, watch it, listen to it.
Yeah, because they're like, we're not getting enough plays on this. We got to just throw that on somebody's playlist. So
Oh, shut up.
Jason, tell me what your number 4 is.
Southern Air. You guys have. Okay, Joe hasn't picked it yet, so he's safe. You have misunderstood this album. This should have been their final album. If they would have called it quits after this and never put out those other 2 albums, we would have been good. Now, I will say, this album has probably the worst fucking Yellowcard song ever written. Here I Am Alive. I fucking hate that song.
That's their single from it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is fucking awful.
I like it. I do. I'm sorry. Like I said, did I give that song props when I? No, I gave another. What was it?
I don't mind that song. I think the problem with that song is it overstays its welcome.
This is why it's better than Ocean Avenue. On a track by track, Ocean Avenue is perfect. The whole album, you can listen to it. Southern Air, you have to skip that one shit song. But the highs on Southern Air are higher than anything on Ocean Avenue. Sleep in the Snow. That sounds like Veruca Salt to me. Like that reminds me of like pre-breakup Veruca Salt. Rivertown Blues has a fucking amazing chorus. That's what my notes say. The song about his kid. Go back and listen to 10. Tell me you don't get teary-eyed. Because they made a choice to have an abortion, and hopefully we won't get flagged for that. And 10 years later, he wrote that song, and it's about his kid being 10 if he would have had it. It's fucking deep. It's sad. I like my Yellowcard, angry and sad. And the closing track, The Southern Air Is All I Need. We'll get to it when we get to One for the Kids, but that album's about fuck Florida, we're moving to California. California's great. Then there's Lights and Sounds, which is how California is fucking awful. And then there's Southern Air about we're missing home. We want to go back home. And I don't know. I'm from Florida. I like Florida bands. I like when they sing about Florida. It's Southern Air.
I'm gonna follow you right behind. Southern Air is my number 3. I think it's a better album than Ocean Avenue. This should have been their. I'm with you. If we'd have put this at their farewell album, you'd have been like, man, y'all went out with flying colors. Awakening's awesome. Surface of the Sun. Here I Am Alive. Even though it does get repetitive, I enjoy.
I hate that song.
Telescope, Rivertown Blues, 10. All of them are to me good songs. My low lights are Sleep in the Snow and A Vicious Kind. I think there's some good lyrics in A Vicious Kind, but I just don't think it's a good song overall.
I love Sleep in the Snow. That one comes up in my Spotify.
To me, it's not that's not my favorite. Southern Air is great. I'm with you. Growing up in Mobile Bay, Southern Air.
Hearing those Southern accents on the radio.
That's right. Who's Tom Petty? Ed, who's Tom Petty?
I will find you. Don't be asking me who Tom Petty is. I will find you.
Some of my favorite songs from Yellowcard off this album, the highs are just really, really high on it. And the low isn't that low. I mean, A Vicious Kind isn't that bad of a song. It's just not something I like that much. And Sleep in the Snow, not my favorite off of it. But
I
amazing.
love that one.
Jason, what's your let's go with Ed. Ed, what's your number 3?
First of all, I would like to say that I did not know there was that much depth to the song 10.
Go back and listen to it.
Yeah, well, now I will. I do must say that I remember my ear perking to that song. I might have been distracted or something. So something like that. I'll go back and listen to it. But yeah, from that album, Here I Am Alive, I don't think that's a bad song at all. Like it's one of their high points. But again, I just didn't connect with the rest of it. But Lights and Sounds, I think I would put the next. Again, good album. The self-titled song was good. I thought it was all right to listen to. But yeah, I would put that one next.
Yeah, that's much higher now. I believe that. Jason, give me number 3.
My number 3 is Paper Walls. Why Ed has it down at 6,
Nobody will ever know.
I don't fucking know.
It's just some albums I just can't connect with. It's nothing personal. I mean, it's just that I just don't know much about it, and I tried maybe if I knew more in depth of the songs it would help, but it just
So, Paper Walls is Ocean Avenue done right. They put out Ocean Avenue. It was a huge success. They wanted to do something different. They did Lights and Sounds. It failed commercially. So they went back and they wrote another at Ocean Avenue. Only this time, the lyrical content is closer to Lights and Sounds because they're older. They're not just singing about girls and beaches and shit. Not that that's all Ocean Avenue is, but for the most part, it's all happy and hope. And Paper Walls is it's a little darker.
I'm taking that band name, Girls and Beaches, though. That's mine. None of y'all can have that.
There's the second. It follows the same structure. The second track, Fighting. It's just the violin is like breathing. Like it's like in your face. Light Up the Sky, Shadows and Regrets.
Yeah, Light Up the Sky that's my favorite track of that album, I think.
5 Becomes 4. I can't tell the full story of this, not on YouTube, but I had a friend who was going through a tough time with drugs and other things, and I played him that song. I played him the Shadows and Regrets and 5 Becomes 4, and I was like, this is what's going to happen. You don't get straight. Dear Bobby, it's his grandfather died, wrote a letter to his grandmother, and on the song, he has his grandmother reading the letter, and then he writes a song in it, like in between it, and it's fucking beautiful. And if you don't shed a tear, you're a cold-hearted fuck. Yeah, to me, Paper Walls to me is just Ocean Avenue done better.
And by the way, that album has at least online, it has 16 tracks.
Yeah, I didn't listen to the deluxe. I'm assuming that's what it is. I
Yeah,
tend
that's
to
the
while
one
we're
they have
doing
out.
these just to listen to what the original release is, if possible.
Yeah, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I guess I could have just done this. Oh. See, 13. Like it follows the same flow. Like the first song rocks, the second song real strong violin, then it kind of goes into a ballady type song, and like it feels like Ocean Avenue, just older and more mature.
Grown up.
Ed, what's your number 2 album by Yellowcard?
One for the Kids. It's just a classic album. I mean, I love it. But that's why I have it at number 2. I mean, like honestly, once I heard Ocean Avenue, I think that's the only thing that had out or that I knew of that I could listen to other than Ocean Avenue. So that's I just grew up with those two, or those were the closest Yellowcard albums that I know. So, but was it Starstruck? That's the name of it. I like October Nights. That's a fantastic song. What's another one that I really like from here? I like Cigarette. I thought that was a good song.
That's a great song.
Yeah. So yeah, no, definitely that's my number 2.
Okay. My number 2 is Paper Walls. I love this album. I agree 100% with Jason. This is Ocean Avenue, but better. This is kind of them. This is like quintessential Yellowcard as they evolved. What they should be. Actually, these two albums back to back, Paper Walls, Southern Air, just great. They're great, and that's kind of where I imagine them now. Not really listening to Paper Walls or Southern Air previously was a shame. I hate I missed out on that when they came out. Paper Walls, Fighting, Shrink the World, Keeper, Light Up the Sky, Shadows and Regrets, 5 Become 4, Dear Bobby, and the closing and title track, Paper Walls, just amazing. Really,
the kids chorusing it.
Let's take what hurts and write it all down on these paper walls and this empty house, and when our ink runs out, we'll burn it to the ground. I love that. Really, my lowlights are Afraid and Cut Me Mick. I don't really, those aren't necessarily things that get me.
Yeah.
Dear Bobby is just, it's amazing. I love what they do there. I love the reading of the letter.
It's not Ocean Avenue's a CD you can pop in. You're driving to the beach with your friends, just rocking out the whole way. You can't really do that with Paper Walls because Dear Bobby comes on and you're just like, oh,
yeah,
okay. It's not a party album.
I'm now sad. But yeah, just great album. Like I said, I really think that this is probably one of their best showcases of their talent. As far as after the Ocean Avenue ones, and we'll get to number 1. Jason, number 2 for you, please.
I just recheck my list because I thought maybe I'd fucked up here.
I'm afraid.
Well, I guess I'll go with what I wrote down. Number 2 is One for the Kids. Not a bad song on it. It probably has my favorite Yellowcard song on it. We'll get to that in the top 5 songs. It's the album that I got into them with. The sound quality it's not polished. It's not, major studio, but it has a warmth to it that just works.
It has that indie sound.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like that unsigned sound, you know what I mean? Like you can tell they're not like blown up yet.
Yeah, Rockstar Land, For Pete's Sake. Sure Shot. Like, I mean, I still remember them. Like, I could still see them playing those songs when I first saw them. Trembling's kind of weak, but other than that, that's a good album. Definitely one of their best, but not the best.
Well, I wholeheartedly disagree. So I'll go on. So One for the Kids is my number 1 album by them. As y'all were saying, that sound, I loved it. I love that kind of non-polished sound from them. I think it makes them sound better as far as like vocally, as far as that album. It makes you feel.
I think
to me, it makes me feel more welcome to it.
Yeah, it makes punk bands sound better. Like, I don't understand what's the whole purpose of them going to like an expensive studio like that the indie sound. Like I would just keep going with that. I understand that they got to have singles for radio and all that, but I don't know
And it's
why a
not
lot
always
of
bad that when they go that way, but to me, this album just it shines because of it.
yeah, that's
Obviously,
true.
the only problem I could really tell you that I have with this is some of the songs are so good that the one after it that's not amazing sounds different. Like I don't care for Rockstar Land necessarily on this album because it comes after October Nights. It's just a hard song to follow. Big Apple Heartbreak. They've got some weird lyrics in it. So put your mouth on my bloody knees. Why? Why put your mouth on my blood? That's just weird. Don't do that. That's not sanitary, kids. But
That's the
Starstruck.
point. That's the point, Joe.
I love Trembling. I love Something
It's
About You.
punk rock, Joe. It's punk rock.
It's not
At least,
love if that doesn't happen, Joe.
at least put your, at least sanitize that thing.
I mean, come on. You picked Drain You as one of your favorite Nirvana songs. That wasn't sanitary.
Well, that was in the '90s. This is 2001. We know sanitation now. Surely, we've got sprays and triple antibiotics and
See, that's the
penicillin.
reason why. That's the reason why. Anyways, I'm not gonna go there. Go ahead.
Cigarette, for Pete's sake, Rough Draft, obviously October Nights. Um, to me,
Honestly,
this is
cigarette. Yeah,
Cigarette's
cigarette's a
great.
good tune.
AWOL has a great bass throughout it. I think it's really good. I don't necessarily think that song is amazing. It's a good song, but not as much as some of these other ones. But yeah, I love that album. I just love the sound of it. It's how I know Yellowcard, and listening back through these, it's still my favorite album. Jason, give me number one.
You already know it, and you purposely put it so low just to piss me off.
I put it so low because it's bad.
No, Lights and Sounds is the most underrated Yellowcard album ever. Um, so after Ocean Avenue, Ryan, they moved out to California, even though they wrote that one California song way later. But they had a
It's a
really
good
rough
song.
time. Um, he was having some addiction problems, and the city wasn't treating him very well. And like so many other bands before them, they wrote us an album about it. It's a loose concept record, um, but the highs on it are so good. How I Go is a fucking amazing song. If you like, I played that at my dad's funeral. Um, it is such a great song to link with the dad, with a parent. Um, and I don't know, it's also a Tim Burton movie, but
Natalie Main of the Chicks on that one.
um, Sure Thing. The whole album is just it's darker, it's faster. There's one song that sounds like Nirvana's Breed, the guitar of it. Um, the lyrical content is not Yellow Card, which is why everyone turned away from it. But I like my Yellow Card dark. I think they did an amazing job. I wish they would have stuck to their guns. And I guess they kind of did with Paper Walls, just not musically. But the music on Lights and Sounds is fantastic.
Um, yeah, what's it? We know my reasoning behind where I put it. But Ed, tell me number one.
Yeah, your reason is dumb.
Ocean Avenue. Excuse me.
We knew there was gonna
Um,
be one, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah. No, I mean this album is a banger, dude, and there's not. Well, it does have some low points though. Towards the end of the album, what is it? Um, View from Heaven. That wasn't. I'm not crazy about that song, but Inside Out, I believe. Yeah, Closeout is pretty strong, but I mean the hits from it are, I think, are great. This album, I think, made him be big, huge. And I think it was the right after they signed to a major is when they put this one out.
Oh yeah.
So it's very well produced. I mean, you can tell sound quality is fantastic. When I saw them, they played all the hits off of this album, so I have an emotional connection to it. I think and I still listen to it till today, and I think my wife does too. So it's a banger, man. I love this album.
Besides the two on my bottom, I think Ocean Avenue is probably the one I go back to the least. And it may just be because when it came out, I wore it out.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I do that a lot for music, and I don't go back to it for a long time too. So, but it's just that Yellowcard is one of those bands that randomly pops up in my playlist, and that's it works.
I mean, looking at my list, everything from 5 and below are like perfect albums that I would recommend somebody listen to. Like from Ocean Avenue and those other 4 albums.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 of them don't even fucking buy, don't even bother, don't even put them on your playlist. When You're Through has a good, it's got a couple good things here and there, but those other 5 are just like perfect albums.
Except for California. California's
my
a
top
great
4
track.
are great for everything. I believe 5 and below. I mean, I guess some people might like Lights and Sound. I don't know why, but those bottom 6, 7, and 8. I don't think you're missing all that much. Yeah, Ocean Avenue. That's probably the one I listened to the most because of when it came out at the time, because it was so popular and we really only had.
Well, I guess so. If both of you motherfuckers quit listening to him after Ocean Avenue,
that's right.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, it's just that's the thing though. Like,
I've heard Lights and Sounds the most.
Huh?
I've listened to Lights and Sounds the most.
Lights and Sounds you listen to the most?
But it's so bad. It's like they took Ocean Avenue, the idea of it, and it just got worse.
It's not the fucking... No, Ocean Avenue's all just like bubblegum fucking pop. Yeah. It's good bubblegum pop.
Mm-hmm.
But Lights and Sounds is fucking dark.
I love
some good drug addiction, alcohol addiction.
I love a good dark pop punk song or band. This ain't it.
Right.
That one yet.
Wait, hold on, time out. And maybe this is just a question that I'm asking, and I did not catch it.
Uh-oh.
They never got emo, did they? Is that what y'all talking about, or are you just saying like dark, like not like I don't know. Lyrically. What are you guys talking about?
Lyrically dark.
Lyrically dark.
Lyrically dark. Yeah. There was no emo thing happening here.
No, Ocean Avenue is more fucking emo than.
That is not an emo album, Jason.
Lyrically, it's more emo than Lights and Sounds.
How in the world, dude? Listen to this album, like you said, you want to drive down to the beach. You don't want to with your friends. That's what this album is. This is
while you're singing along, bitching about the girls.
Beaches and girls. No, girls and beaches.
It depends on what your definition of emo is, because your definition's always been fucked up of what emo is.
Well, I'm not gonna get into defining emo, but I'm just saying, like, it's not. When I think of emo, Alkaline Trio, right? They're an emo band.
That's a dark.
Right?
More, you're leaning more toward a dark pop punk than an emo band.
Yeah, that's not
Yellowcard is way more of an emo band than Alkaline Trio would be.
Wait,
comparatively.
Hold up. Okay, well, then we can make a video on this conversation then.
Because,
Pearl Jam, more emo, Fred.
Okay.
All right.
I'm still alive. Oh.
Parting words, emo Ed.
Oh my gosh, you guys are insane. But yeah, no, Yellowcard, solid band. I've listened to them for years. Had a great time at their show. I only seen them one time, but I remember having a really good time. Look, I'm gonna give some of these a second listen. I know Southern Air. I didn't know much about those topics, but might change my mind about a few tracks. But overall, solid band, and I really enjoy listening to them.
Awesome. Jason?
For the record, neither Joe nor I think Pearl Jam is emo. That was a joke.
Yeah,
don't add us in the comments for that.
That's right.
I know I'm in the minority. And Joe probably is too, with putting Ocean Avenue so down far below. But fuck it, it's our list.
That's right.
So if you wanna rank them, give us your ranks. Let us know.
My parting words for it is I don't want to listen to Yellowcard probably again for quite some time. That was a lot of Yellowcard to get through, and not all of those are great albums. So I really, really enjoy their style when I was younger. The violin still kicks ass, but right now I'd pop in the first 3 albums more than I would go into the other ones. Ocean Avenue and Southern is still all the time.
I'd go with Paper Walls, Southern Air. I spin those pretty regularly.
One for the Kids is just still great. Now the EP, we didn't really mention their EP. The EP's great also.
Oh man, Avondale, Powder. I can still picture him playing that song. Crush it up, crush it up. Yeah, that's. We didn't do a Ocean Avenue acoustic either. They redid that.
I haven't listened to that. Now I may jump on into some of that here.
That is that I don't have any other vinyl, but I would buy that on vinyl. It sounds pretty cool. They did a good job with that album, and you can actually hear the violin better than in their studio.
They did that with When You're Through Thinking too. There's an acoustic version of that album.
Oh boy.
Not online. I didn't see that online.
Yeah. So you got Apple Music? It's on Apple Music. Either that or I just have it in my library somehow. To some albums I never listened to. Anyway, so we appreciate you listening to us ramble on about Yellowcard. Thank you so much. Please make sure to share, subscribe, and tell the gas station attendant wherever you get gas or beer or cigarettes or candy bars. Her name's Mary. Mary's been working at this gas station for years now. She has to deal with underage kids trying to buy vapes. She has to have to clean up dirty bathrooms and watch the same people come in every day and buy 2 of those 16-ounce domestic beers when they could easily buy a 12-pack and save money over time. Mary's seen it all, except she hasn't seen us. So be a pal and tell Mary about us. She'll thank you for it. Until we see you next time, stay safe and make good decisions.
Good night.